One, two, three, three, two, one. Welcome back and spending time with me. I'm so excited to spend time with you guys. I feel like it's been forever. I just looked and apparently I let a month get away from me. Um, and I haven't seen you guys, and it's very sad. So, although my heart has been filling, and there's a lot going on. I want to get you guys caught up on the last month. Still Mary Kay. I wish I would have found my badge and my bling, but I will find it, and it's okay. We'll work on that because this isn't about Mary Kay. It's about putting God first. And though this is my job, my career, my choice, um, I want to take the time real quick to spend with you guys and with God. We are on Numbers chapter 7, which is a really long chapter and it's going to be really good. It's offering of dedication. So last time we saw each other, we have the power of blessings. And now this literal, look at this. So it starts here and then it's this whole page and then we're flipping and it's all of this, both of these. So that's 4 rows and then right here. So it's like six columns on offerings of dedication. Offerings of dedication. So I'm really, really excited to spend time with you guys. So, good morning, good night, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Currently, it is 4:21 in the afternoon where I am, which normally I do these in the morning and try to get it done first thing in the morning. But like I said, I have had a lot going on. Um, I quit my job. I walked out. I currently have no income. No income. I got $100 a month in child support, and supposedly I'm supposed to get more money, but I was told to quit because it was just too much. So I'm just trusting in the Lord and trusting that things are going to work out. And literally just yesterday, um, we do a church on Sunday and Wednesday, a Zoom with people I haven't even met yet. You guys know about my friend Antoine. So he invited me to his friend's house and I did meet her, her husband, her family, and I met a few of the people that are in this group. I haven't met everybody. I'm brand new to it. Maybe a month or so. Um, maybe a little more than that. But anyways, I'm brand new to the group and brand new to this church. It's not a typical church, which I really like because all churches usually go for about an hour and then you sing a couple songs, you hear them talk, and then you sing a song or two and then it's over. And then you go about your day and it is what it is. But he is actually very, very passionate about what he talks about, and it's awesome because that's just what we need in the world is somebody who knows what they're saying, who's confident in what they're saying, and knows God, right? So he was saying just yesterday about seeing God in people, and he was doing some bad things a few years ago. He's over 60 years old, so he's lived a little bit of a life. And how he was smoking a cigarette, but he poked it out, like crushed it in his hand when people that he knew represented God had came in, and he just had that respect for them. It wasn't he was afraid of anything. He just knew that that was God in them. Oops. So he respected them, and I don't know. I like it. I liked what he was saying yesterday, and then about discipline, which I like how we got right now the chapter of offering of dedication, because in order to be dedicated, we have to be disciplined. In order to be disciplined, we have to be a disciplined learner, right? We have to, even the Bible says about, was it Proverbs? Proverbs is literally one of my favorite books in the Bible. because it talks a lot about wisdom and understanding and knowing wisdom and knowing understanding, and the verse of people who have eyes see, people who have ears listen, you have a mouth speak. Sometimes you know what I mean, there's a time for everything. There's a time to speak, there's a time to be quiet, there's a time for everything. That I don't think is in Proverbs, but um there is a time for everything, and I'm trusting in God that everything will work out. So far, so good. Um, so I did want to share, sorry, I'm a little distracted, a few things of what God has been doing this past month. Like I said, I quit my job. I'm still floating somehow. I don't have a dollar to my name. Um, I'm actually overdrawn in my bank, but I'm still floating. So I'm still here. I do. So I made a prayer. I said a prayer, silent prayer, actually. It was just for me and God. And I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you, but I've been really, really wanting to tell you. And for some reason, something has been stopping me from getting on. So, anyways, as you guys know, my husband passed. Before he passed, so we were doing some work in our kitchen. We had an electric stove with a glass stovetop. And we were doing some work in the kitchen. He told me to stand on the stove. Bad idea. Very, very, very bad idea. Especially me. I'm not tiny by any means at all. And standing on the glass top was a very bad idea. Because it broke, obviously. So it broke. It shattered all over the place. So instead of going back with electric, we ended up going to Aaron's and getting one of the best stoves I've literally ever had. Dehydrator, warmer, self cleaning, the whole 9 yards. But it is gas. Um, so we put the stove in another room. And he literally bought it so that way we can have Thanksgiving at our house. That was the purpose. You know, he wanted to invite his family and everybody over to our house, because he was proud of what we've accomplished in the 2 years we had the house. Um, but anyways, that all happened, and then now we have a gas stove. So we had this plug still in our kitchen. Um, and like I said, I don't want electric stove. I don't like electric stoves. I never liked electric stoves. I don't like them. We did have a really good stove and it did come free. So, you know what I mean? We can't really complain. But the wire was very, very expensive. So the prayer that I prayed, I looked at it and I was like, God, please let there be a way that I can use this wire that won't, like, you know what I mean, something that we can use it for, that it won't be a stove. Because it's not going to be a stove. So what can we use this wire for? Literally, let me tell you. It's great. Let me tell you. So even when your circumstances feel like everything's going wrong, you feel like you're crumbling, God has got a plan, let me tell you. So that was my prayer, right? Knowing that God is going to answer this prayer. We had negative degrees weather. Again, my husband was the one who knew about dripping the faucets, dripping, I mean, I'm not from here. I'm used to living in an apartment complex or a place where I don't have to worry about pipes freezing. Literally, I don't have to worry about it. I never in my life had to worry about pipes freezing. But when you own your own home, you have to worry about pipes freezing. Lesson learned. My pipes froze. For a week, I had no water. Now comes the fun part. First of all, lots of lessons, lots and lots of lessons. God told me to unscrew a board, and I was like, it can't be that simple. I don't think it's that simple. Because when I finally got my pipes unfroze, so listen, my brother gave me heaters. He gave me all kinds of stuff. Me and Noah crawled under the house. I had my friend Antoine help with a couple things. Um, he only actually helped with one thing, drilling a hole. So now we have ducts and heater things under the house. I did that. I did that. Let me tell you, before I bought this house, before we even bought this house, I didn't even use a screwdriver or a hammer, you know what I mean, to hang pictures up. Excuse me, sorry. Itchy little side. Um, but to hang pictures up on the wall, right? I never used the power tool ever in my life. And now I'm running heater vents so I could defrost my pipe. I'm crawling under the house because our basement only goes, this part of the house, and there's a whole part back there. You see the bathroom back there, that right there, that door right there, that's the bathroom. So that is a crawl space under the house. Over here, it's a little basement. I'm short and it's about as tall as me. My basement is as tall as me, and it only goes from that side to that side. So we ran vents. We ran to Home Depot a few times. I did this by myself. Okay. We finally got our pipes defrosted and water squirted everywhere. It was a flood in my kitchen. I'm like, what's going on? I had the main water valve off. At least I thought I did. But something, like I said, someone, God, kept telling me to take that wood out so that way it'll go. It's not shutting all the way. It needs to get, shut. And I'm like fighting, of course, because I'm like, no, it can't be that simple. It's literally off. It's off. There's no way it could be off. There's no way it could be on. Apparently, where I live, there's no emergency plumbers. There's no emergency plumbers. So this happened, I don't know, 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Um, the plumbing person didn't come till about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning because oh, I'm lying. So not no, there's one emergency plumber. And um, they came 10 minutes it took them. 10 minutes. Do you know what he did? He got a screwdriver and a hammer and chiseled that wood that I was told to move and shut off my water. Cost almost $200 for a 10-minute job, right? Cost almost $200 for a 10-minute job because I didn't listen. I was not a disciplined learner. I did not listen. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. All right, sorry. It's been very dusty today, like super dusty, and I've been doing a lot of cleaning today. So I apologize. I'm a little itchy. I haven't gotten my shower yet, but I just wanted to, like I said, hop on real quick and tell you. But, anyways, back to the story $200 for a 10-minute job. Okay. One. Two, BPU, which is our water, trash, electric, the whole 9 yards over here. Well, water, electric, trash. Um, had to come and fix the piece, right? So I could have water. They came to fix the piece. Another $175. But thank God they didn't need that right now. It's going to be on next month's bill. So on next month's bill, right? It's adding up. That's already, what is that? 200 and 175, 375 now. We're at 375 now. When I finally get my water up and running, I have no hot water. Why do I not have hot water? Why do we not have hot water? What's going on? Well, well, we don't have hot water because we had to have the plumber that 10-minute job, right? Called them again. Hey, I have no hot water. Can you guys come try to figure this out? So now I know, right? I still don't know where it is. I'm gonna have to pull it up or whatever, figure that out. But the wires that we had to the hot water heater, let me tell you, I didn't hook it up. I know nothing about this. I told you I know nothing about this. I know nothing about building a house. Okay, I know how to hang some sheetrock. I know how to putty. Now I do. Before, I didn't know nothing. And now I'm learning how to do electrical. So back to my story. We had the yellow wires. Anybody who knows electrical, you know what I'm talking about. We have the yellow wires. Yellow wire has three connections: the ground, uh, positive, and neutral. Hold on. Positive, negative, and the ground. Positive, negative, and the ground. Then, like I said, I prayed for the black wire. He said, so hold on, jumping all over the place. The plumber came, checked out the thing. He was going up and down, up and down, up and down. Maybe 20 minutes for this job. And it cost almost $300 for this one, for him to just go up and down to figure out what's going on with the electrical or what's going on with the water tank. He said, well, you're going to need to get an electrician in here because then he said it. You need I don't even know the words to it. Let me tell you, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know the words, but you need a fuse that has two, and we only have the one with the one. So, like I said, the yellow wire goes to the one fuse, the black wire goes to the double fuse. Again, don't know the language. I don't know the logo. I don't lingo or whatever. He said the only one that you have there is for the stove. The only one with the double is to the stove. Yo, seriously, God? Seriously? So he said you're gonna have to get an electrician in here to rerun the wires or whatever. I was like, okay. Cost, like I said, almost $300. Thank God that the 1 o'clock in the morning, no, the 1 o'clock in the morning I paid for, but my church had paid for this guy, the almost $300. They not the ones that I do the Zoom with, the church that has been helping me upstairs and building and everything. So that the Bemis Methodist Church, um, Britta paid for the 20-minute job for them to tell me I need an electrician. So me and Noah goes on Google and like try to figure out how to hook it up because the black wire has four wires. And it not only has four wires, but the positive and negative have like a bunch of wires in it. So I'm like, how do we do this? Googled it, listened to my heart, listened to the words, listened to him show me how to do it, and is literally connecting the red wire to the red wire, the black wire to the black wire, the ground to the ground. I think it actually, I don't know what colors. I think it's black and red. No, white, black, and ground. Over here, it's white, black, and ground, but I feel like downstairs it's red, black, and white. Red, black, white, and ground. The ground is just a wire. It's no wrapping around it. It's no color. It's just the regular copper wire. That's the ground. Um, yeah. So I think that's the difference because my fuse box is right here in my room. So we have the white, black, and ground in the fuse box. But I think downstairs is red, white, and black and the ground. So I'm like, what do we do? There's only two wires in the water heater. Well, two wires and then the screw for the ground because I seen how my husband had did the three wires, so it was all connected, and then we did that. Hooked it up, Apparently the white wire doesn't go to anything. You just match the colors with the colors. Um, we have the best hot water. Just yesterday, either yesterday or the day before, I'm pretty positive it was just yesterday. Again, no hot water. I'm like, what is going on? I hooked it up right. I go downstairs, I moved the wire, because it was dangling. So then I picked it up so it's not dangling, and I hear the hot water run. And I'm like, dude, seriously? Why are you going to keep doing this to me? Like teaching me, like I said, before this whole situation, I didn't know anything. I didn't even pick up a drill. And here I am connecting a hot water heater because God told me to. So who am I to not listen to, hey, quit your job. I got you. Mary Kay, we're going to do great things. Hot dog stand, we're going to do great things. Look at, I wanted to show you guys this. It's not completely done, but I haven't even, this is an exclusive view because I haven't even posted it or told anybody other than my children because they've been here, watched me do it, right? They're here in the home, their friends are here in the home. They've watched me do it. Um, but I've been working on the hot dog stand. So this is going to be our ketchup holder. I'm going to do each one of these. I don't know if it's going to be enough. I don't know. But it's going to be like this. Not exact, but similar. Ketchup's going to go in here. So ketchup, mayonnaise, mustard, relish. Red, yellow, blue, and green for that. And then I bought these things, these shirts, and BJ's, because that's, when 2 years ago, when I wanted to do the business, I went to BJ's and bought a bunch of stuff. Just went crazy. Wasn't even keeping track of it, nothing. Just bought a bunch of stuff. So hot dogs to me are American, right? What colors are American? Red, white, and blue, right? So I saw these really cool shirts. These really cool button-down summer shirts because it was summer, and I bought a bunch of them, all the same size, all the same color, exactly. And I was like, oh, these are going to be our uniforms. Now I don't think it's going to be our uniforms in the way that I thought it was going to be our uniforms. This is something that I'm making. I turned it into an apron. This is a shirt. And I literally just finished the pockets yesterday. This is what you see here. I still have, this is the last piece. Both of these, this pocket cap thingamabobber. That's all that's left to do from a shirt to an apron, and it's a buttoned apron, and it's a half apron. And then for me, it was really cute because when I cut it, the top, I kept the top, so it is like short. But obviously, if you're cutting, the clothes, you have pieces left, right? You have pieces left, so I'm gonna do a little top to go with it for me, but everybody else is gonna have these cute little aprons. Oh my gosh. Again, something I've really never done, right? Something I've never done. I've never designed clothes. I've never cut open clothes and make it into this. I have done pillows. That I have done. I've made pillows. I've hand sewn pillows. This has been a lot of hand sewing, a lot of sewing in the sewing machine. Not only that, my sewing machine, oh my gosh, I've been having to take it apart and put it back together and take it apart and put it back together. And I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I had to use Google because I haven't used it in so long. I forgot how to even thread the thing. So Google is great. YouTube is great. But try to figuring out everything has been like, oh my gosh, but trust in God, trust the process, right? I've said it before because the more work you have to put into something, the more reward is going to come out of it. You might not think that the work you're putting in is working, that something's going to happen, but I promise you. Ain't happened yet for me, but I know it is happening. I know just by the feeling, just by the confidence, just by the I feel at peace, right? That peace that surpasses all understanding. That is real, okay? 100, 1000% real. Because, like I said, I'm jobless, literally. I quit my job. I was going to go to a temp agency. I did actually go to a temp agency to try to get a job. No job, right? Just certain things, you know what I mean? And I know they say don't go by your feelings, but for me, it's not about my feelings. It's about my thoughts. It is about my feelings though, because if you're at peace, right? The peace that surpasses all understanding, you know you're making the right decision, right? Even though my brain, my whatever, I'm having anxiety, um, because I'm like uncertain. But then you say the prayer, right? Think of the serenity prayer. When your anxiety comes, you think of God and God's word and everything that it says to trust in God, not to trust in people. And the pastor was literally talking on this yesterday, literally. And I was like, yo, I wanted to cry so bad because, though on paper and though in my mind, I don't think I'm going to make it. Like, you know what I mean? I have to have a job, I have to have an income. I'm trusting God though. I'm getting these ideas. I'm getting the work done. I'm doing things. My house is even coming together this past, just a few couple days. Like I said, I'm a little dusty right now because we were just simple um moving things around and cleaning and decluttering, and I'm not just sitting, oh, I quit my job, let's just sit on our butt, watch TV and eat ho-hos all day. Like, no, that's I'm not doing that. I have a house to build, children to raise, things to do. So just listening and being at peace with God um has been my greatest blessing this past month. So I just wanted to take a few minutes and share that with you of what has been going on. And like I'm giddy. I'm excited to see what he brings out of this situation. Like I said, it's been a month. My pipes went from freezing to no hot water, freezing to flooding to no hot water to the best hot water I've ever had. Literally, like, oh my God, I love it so much. To it's 50 degrees outside. Yes, I'm still in a sweater because my house, like I said, even in the summertime, it's a little chilly. um, but it's 50 degrees outside. Like, it's gorgeous. And it was again something else I'm praying for because I'm trying to do a kennel for my dogs to be able to stay outside. As you guys maybe you do know, don't know, we're up to 4 dogs now. Which is another answered prayer, actually. One of my we'll call her my friends came from Massachusetts to get her daughter a puppy. She wanted to get her daughter, surprise her daughter with a puppy. She ended up taking 2 puppies for herself. And then I had 2 more that needed homes. And I was like, kind of sort of freaking out on the inside about what I was going to do with these puppies because I can't keep the puppies. I cannot keep the puppies. um, I don't even want to keep the one that my kids claimed, but we did. We did. So like I said, now we're up to 4 dogs. But she ended up bleh, say that again. She came she claimed 2, and then without me even asking, without even anything, her and her husband started calling up people, "Hey, you guys want a puppy? Hey, you guys want a puppy?" They ended up finding homes for the other 2 puppies, and like I said, at this point I didn't have water, so I couldn't give them baths, and I felt really bad because they stunk like bad. That they're 8 weeks old now. Um and my house was cold. I can't give the babies a bath and keep them frozen. Um well, one, I didn't have hot water, and like I said, my house is cold, especially in the winter. Um, so she ended up taking all 4 puppies and giving them baths at the hotel, and found she kept 2 and gave the other 2 homes, and it was just worked out. That's another prayer answered because again, silent prayers. get answered. Even vocal prayers get answered. Prayers get answered. If you ask, you receive. If you don't ask, I like that. What's his name? Oh my God, what is his name? Maury. He says it. You don't receive because you don't ask. You know what I mean? The Bible says to ask. Even though God knows what we need before we ask and before we say a word, do you give to your kids before they ask you? I don't know. Like, I'm not a fortune teller or whatever you call it. Like only on their birthdays or whatever, but I don't know. You don't give. You're not going to get if you don't ask, right? So if you ask, things happen. God is great. Let me tell you, God is great all the time, all the time. God is great. So much, so much, so much. I love it so much. So, thank you, God, for letting us spend time together. Thank you, God, for letting me get my story out. Thank you for whoever is listening, and they hopefully get encouraged to know that you are real, that you are guiding our every move, our every step, to trust in you with all our heart, our soul, our might, and that you, my God, give us the peace that surpasses literally all understanding. We could not fathom the peace that you bring to us, even in the midst of where it looks like it's dark, where it looks like there's no way out of here. You, my friend, you, my father, my mother, you, my everything, will find a way for us as long as we are disciplined learners and we learn to listen with the ears that you gave us, see with the eyes that you give us, and speak when you tell us to speak, what you tell us to speak. In the name of Jesus, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, that's so awesome. So, like I said, we are on Numbers chapter 7, and it's super duper long. And I'm so super excited because, like I said, I've been wanting to tell you guys, I've been wanting to spend time with you guys. And for some reason, it just hasn't happened. And I'm really excited to be here with you today. Sorry. Like I said, it's been very dusty today, yesterday, these past couple days because I'm trying to rearrange and get everything cleaned. And I normally do it, all the time. If I'm, like I said, normally in an apartment or whatever, I dust and I clean and I rearrange all the time. But being under construction and being through what I've been going through, um, hasn't quite worked out for me that way. But nonetheless, God got me. We got this. So I apologize for rubbing my eyes and being all itchy, but it is what it is. All right, let me just pause, plug. I don't know where my thing is. I thought I had a charger right there. Plug my computer in, and then we'll get back in to listen to our friends read us the offering of dedication in chapter 7. Chargers didn't want to cooperate. I had to put my phone and the computer on the charger. My phone has been dead all day. But anyways, now that we are all situated and set up, well, somebody's playing with a motorcycle. Let me shut the camera off so we can focus on listening to the word that God has for us today. Thank you, Mirambach. All right, now that the camera's off, let's listen to our friend read to us the offering of dedication.
Numbers chapter 7. Offerings of dedication. Moses set up the tabernacle. He anointed it and set it apart as holy. He also anointed and set apart all its furnishings and the altar with its utensils. Then the leaders of Israel, the tribal leaders who had registered the troops, came and brought their offerings. Together, they brought 6 large wagons and 12 oxen. There was a wagon for every 2 leaders and an ox for each leader. They presented these to the Lord in front of the tabernacle. And the Lord said to Moses, "Receive their gifts, and use these oxen and wagons for transporting the tabernacle. Distribute them among the Levites, according to the work they have to do." So Moses took the wagons and oxen and presented them to the Levites. He gave 2 wagons and 4 oxen to the Gershonite division for their work, and he gave 4 wagons and 8 oxen to the Merarite division for their work. All their work was done under the leadership of Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest. But he gave none of the wagons or oxen to the Kohathite division, since they were required to carry the sacred objects of the tabernacle on their shoulders. The leaders also presented dedication gifts for the altar at the time it was anointed. They each placed their gifts before the altar. The Lord said to Moses, "Let one leader bring his gift each day for the dedication of the altar." On the first day, Nishan, son of Amminadab, leader of the tribe of Judah, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Nishan, son of Amminadab. On the second day, Nethanel, son of Zuar, leader of the tribe of Issachar, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour, moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Nethanel, son of Zuar. On the third day, Eliab, son of Helon, leader of the tribe of Zebulun, presented his offering. The offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour, moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Eliab, son of Helon. On the fourth day, Eliezer, son of Shedeur, leader of the tribe of Reuben, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour, moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Eliezer, son of Shedeur. On the fifth day, Shelemiel, son of Zurishaddai, leader of the tribe of Simeon, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 1-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Shelemiel, son of Zurishaddai. On the sixth day, Eliasaph, son of Duel, leader of the tribe of Gad, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour, moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 one-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Eliasaph, son of Duel. On the 7th day, Elishama, son of Amihud, leader of the tribe of Ephraim, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds, and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour, moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 one-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Elishama, son of Amihud. On the 8th day, Gamaliel, son of Pedazur, leader of the tribe of Manasseh, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds, and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour, moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 one-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Gamaliel, son of Pedazur. On the 9th day, Abidan, son of Gideoni, leader of the tribe of Benjamin, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds, and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour, moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 one-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Abidan, son of Gideoni. On the 10th day, Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai, leader of the tribe of Dan, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds, and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour, moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 one-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Ahiezer, son of Ammishaddai. On the 11th day, Pagiel, son of Akron, leader of the tribe of Asher, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds, and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour, moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 one-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Pagiel, son of Akron. On the 12th day, Ahira, son of Enan, leader of the tribe of Naphtali, presented his offering. His offering consisted of a silver platter weighing 3 1/4 pounds, and a silver basin weighing 1 3/4 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. These were both filled with grain offerings of choice flour, moistened with olive oil. He also brought a gold container weighing 4 ounces, which was filled with incense. He brought a young bull, a ram, and a 1-year-old male lamb for a burnt offering, and a male goat for a sin offering. For a peace offering, he brought 2 bulls, 5 rams, 5 male goats, and 5 one-year-old male lambs. This was the offering brought by Ahira, son of Enan. So this was the dedication offering brought by the leaders of Israel at the time the altar was anointed. 12 silver platters, 12 silver basins, and 12 gold incense containers. Each silver platter weighed 3 1/4 pounds, and each silver basin weighed 1 3/4 pounds. The total weight of the silver was 60 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. Each of the 12 gold containers that was filled with incense weighed 4 ounces, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. The total weight of the gold was 3 pounds. 12 young bulls, 12 rams, and 12 one-year-old male lambs were donated for the burnt offerings, along with their prescribed grain offerings. 12 male goats were brought for the sin offerings. 24 bulls, 60 rams, 60 male goats, and 60 one-year-old male lambs were donated for the peace offerings. This was the dedication offering for the altar after it was anointed. Whenever Moses went into the tabernacle to speak with the Lord, he heard the voice speaking to him from between the two cherubim above the ark's cover, the place of atonement that rests on the ark of the covenant. The Lord spoke to him from there.
So now we know why the chapter was so long, and I love it. Tell me you did not love it. What did God say to you during these dedications for all these offerings? I'll put this down for a moment. I was multitasking. I was listening, hand sewing the ends there. So I'm working on that end right there. Ran out of string, so I was just doing that. But anyways, what did God say to you during the time of this dedication? There was a lot of animals. So the last two, hold on, from 84 to 89. This was the dedication offering brought by the leaders of Israel at the time the altar was anointed. 12 silver platters. So that's one platter for each tribe, right? 12 silver basins, again, one. And 12 gold incense container, one. Each silver platter weighed 3 1/4 pounds. You heard that repeated over and over. This is the weight, this is the weight, this is the weight, right? And each basin weighed 1 3/4 pound. The total weight of the silver was 60 pounds, right? Each of the 12 gold containers was filled with incense, weighed 4 ounces. The total weight of the gold was 3 pounds. 12 young bulls, that was the one. 12 rams, one. 12 one-year-old male lambs were dedicated for the burnt offerings, along with their prescribed grain offerings. 12 male goats were brought for the sin offering. 12, 24 bulls. 60 rams. 60 male goats. And 60 one-year-old male lambs were donated for the peace offering. This was the dedication offering for the altar after it was anointed. So after it was anointed, all the tribes brought all this stuff. All this stuff. Can you picture it? Can you imagine looking at all this stuff? All this in the sanctuary, right? Mm. The last verse. Whenever Moses went into the tabernacle to speak with the Lord, so he went into his quiet place alone to speak with the Lord, he heard the voice speaking to him from between the two cherubim above the ark cover, right? The two cherubims above the ark's cover, the place of atonement that rests on the ark of the covenant. The Lord spoke to him from there. I think for me, the word ark speaks a lot. Just because of Noah's ark, he made him build the ark, and then now it's the ark that they had to carry, right? And I like how, where was it? I think it was somewhere in the beginning. He gave hold on. Distributed them among the Levites. Um for all the work they have done. But he gave none of the wagons or oxen to the Kohathite division, since they were required to carry the sacred objects of the tabernacle on their shoulders. So everybody else got wagons and everything else, but this one tribe had to carry the stuff on their shoulder, right? The leaders also presented the gifts from the altar at the time it was anointed. On the day Moses set up the tabernacle, he anointed it, and set it apart as holy. Right? So the first thing they did was set up the tabernacle and set it apart as holy. He also anointed and set apart all its furnishings and the altar and its utensils. Then the leader of Israel, the tribe leaders who had registered the troops, came and brought their offerings. And the 6 large wagons, 12 oxen, and there was a wagon for every 2 leaders, and oxen for each leader. Receive their gifts and use the oxen wagon to transport the tabernacle. Distribute them among the Levites according to the work they have to do. And then he gave them to everybody except for the Kohathite clan. And then the leaders also presented their dedication gifts to the Lord. And he listed each 12 people. Each day was one person, one tribe's dedication. So it took 12 days. And then it says all their thing was all the same stuff, right? So all 12 tribes brought all the same stuff. The 5th day, the 6th day, the 7th day, the 8th day, um 9th, 10, 11, 12. Naphtali. So the dedication offering brought to the leader of Israel at the time of the altar was anointed. 12, and it tells you again what it all was. So now we know why it was so long. That's a lot of offerings to God, right? Ugh, it's awesome. It's awesome because you got to dedicate everything that you own, everything that you have, everything that you want. If it wasn't for God, you wouldn't have it, right? None of this stuff would even be made to begin with. We wouldn't be made, right? God made us in his likeness. Jesus came to show us to be like him, to trust in God, to trust, right? I don't know. I just find that very awesome. Like, awesome. All 12 tribes dedicated all this, the sin, the burnt offerings, the grain offerings, like everything, you know, peace offerings. I'm just trying to see. The grain offerings with olive oil, gold, silver, burnt offering, sin offering, peace offering, all these offerings, right? So they could have peace, they could have freedom, they can have, what was it? Oh my God, I literally just read it. They could have peace, they could have, excuse me, free from sin, peace and free from sin. Brought all this offering so they could have peace and free from sin. That's one thing I actually love, even though we're going through the Old Testament right now and we're learning all these offerings and all this, stuff before Jesus. That's one of the greatest things that I absolutely love about God and the whole everything is how Jesus came so we don't have to do all this. I said it before and I'm going to keep saying it. Like, so we don't have to. We made one sacrifice. He made one sacrifice. And there's a song and a preacher, and I don't know who's the preacher, but it's on the song about God wasn't, Jesus wasn't just another great man. He was God in the flesh who died for us, who loved us that much, who died for us. And that's just great, right? Is that not like one of the greatest gifts that we don't even have to do all this stuff? We don't have to burn animals and kill animals and, everything so we can live free from sin. All we have to do is believe and love in God and we're free from sin. Abide, listen. What did I just say at the beginning? Be disciples, disciplined learners, and we can have what God set us out to have. It's awesome. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm very blessed and thankful that I get to spend time with you guys. We are going to do, oh my God, yes! We're going to do chapter 8 and chapter 9 next, and it's the fiery cloud. And our little footnote, little thing right here is the cloud of God's presence, Israel's GPS. That's so excited. Oh my God, I love it. I want to read it right now, but I can't. That's for next time. Oh, I'm so excited. Well, thank you guys for spending time with me. I love you. I have to get back to work, and like I said, I was kind of organizing stuff and cleaning out there, and decided to stop to come. If I kept doing what I was doing out there, I wouldn't be able to come in here and spend time with you guys. And I really, really wanted to come and spend time with you guys because, like I said, I feel like I've been letting time slip away from me. I wanted to tell you the story about the power, the water, how even though I was like crying, freaking out about, everything, I learned, you know, trust God. If I would have just took that board out of there, my water would have completely shut off. It wouldn't have cost $200. It is what it is. Lesson learned, right? You live, you learn. So I love you guys. I love you. God loves you. Don't forget, Mary Kay me. I'll send the link if you want. I would love, love, love to do free facial Fridays. I don't know where yet, but I think we're gonna do free facial Fridays, hopefully at what is it called? Hotels, barbers, wherever. Whoever lets us do it. All right, my friends. I love you and God loves you, and we'll see you back here next time for what's the word? God's word. Mwah! I love you.